The MMRF CoMMpass study represents really a new milestone in the collection of patient-driven data on multiple levels and on a large scale. It's the first study of its kind across any cancer to collect genomic variation, gene expression changes, epigenetic changes, and clinical outcomes longitudinally across a well-characterized population of multiple myeloma patients. This is key to really advancing to the next level of therapies that are now not just one size fits all, but more and more directed to the individual patients who are going to most respond to these drugs. The Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation CoMMpass study really being a breakthrough in longitudinal patient data collection in the precision medicine era. It's a huge foundation. It's a great place to now begin the effort to better match drugs to patients, to improve outcomes, and ultimately transform care. But what is data without the machinery to crunch that data and ultimately turn it into a new form? And that new form is in the form of causal computer models that capture the mechanisms underlying the data. And the GNS-REFS technology brings to this data the ability now to uncover the cause-effect, the what-if impact of this simulated drug versus that simulated drug. And really what I see from the combination of MMRF and GNS here is ultimately really a powerhouse in delivering on the promise of precision medicine. It's not just the data, it's not just the advanced causal machine learning, but the combination that's now able to get at the holy grail of personalized medicine, which is answering the question of what works for whom. The combination of the CoMMpass data and the GNS causal machine learning platform has already produced causal computer models, which are the largest and most sophisticated models capturing the underlying biology and mechanisms of multiple myeloma disease progression and drug response. Now, what's come out of that really matters on three levels. One, it's driving the discovery of new drug targets, of new pathways, and ultimately new combination therapies by unraveling the underlying complexity driving the disease. Number two, it's enabling the discovery of biomarkers that enable the stratification of patients in clinical trials so that drugs can get through from discovery to reach patients much, much faster than before. And it's really the hallmark of MMRF when I think back to the early beginning of Kathy jumping in to accelerate the development of Velcade and other drugs. Number three is we now live in a world where there's not just one or two drugs on the market for multiple myeloma. We now have 10, and we have dozens in clinical trials. And we now have a new challenge, which is what is the right drug for a given patient out of the drugs that are on the market? And this really gets down to personalized care pathways to now both improve outcomes dramatically by better matching drugs to patients, and simultaneously, and we can't ignore this part, doing it in a cost-effective fashion. And this is what's coming out of the CoMMpass and GNS-REFS collaboration are now computer models that can enable all three levels of discovery that ultimately lead to a transformation in outcomes for multiple myeloma patients.